Hello and welcome to BIPC 2024. Uh, I am so excited for this. We've got some of the best players from UK here, ready to battle it out. UK and Ireland. First time I've done that, it definitely won't be the last. um, I'm joined here with the wonderful Jake Cotton.
Hello, hello.
Uh,
It's a pleasure to be here. It's an elite stream, and I finally get my casting opportunity.
yeah, be good fun. We will be starting off seeding quite soon. We have a few interesting players to keep an eye on. This edition had a few less signups. It's slightly busier time of year. Lots and lots of events on in September. Um, so everyone is gonna get into rounds, but it's gonna be interesting to see how seeding affects the bracket. Obviously, the higher you seed, the better spot you'll be in the bracket going forwards. And yeah, that'll be interesting with two people in positions where I think they could shift around. So far, 30% of seeding has been done, as that comes from the time attack stage. And the next of it will come from rounds that will start in a second. Are there any kind of players you're looking at?
Well, I've had a look at the times, and obviously, you got the big hitters, Wizzy, Hendo, Boz. But then, like, even the Irish are putting in some really good times at the moment. There's Killian, Babs, obviously, it goes without saying, really. And as much as I hate to admit, OC is putting in some really respectable times. And to be honest, the mid like table is really up for grabs here. I think it's going to be really interesting to see who is consistent, and I'm quite curious to see if anyone's offlined and maybe done some sneaky sneak.
Yeah, they won't count towards your best time, but you'll sometimes get players who have put in times at last minute and jumped up the scoreboard, or I imagine a lot of them will have done offline rounds prac.
Mhm.
Sure, so maybe do have more pace to show than perhaps their time attack. Because they're gambling more on the 70% of the time attack.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we got four really interesting maps this edition. This has been quite a big event for us because we've recently passed 1,000 members on the server, which like a few years ago there were barely 100. So it's come such a long way to see the growth of the British and Irish community. We had our first ever LAN event over in Wales, which was great fun to go to.
Yeah, just don't
Uh,
remind me about that one, please. Thank you.
I'm surprised you remember any of it.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
um, so what we've done is, in a bit of celebration, we've brought back 3 maps from previous events by player votes. We've got one from the last BIPC, which is Candy Crush, an absolutely brilliant mime map. I think comfortably at the top of the rankings. People seem to really enjoy it. Second up, we've got Capital, the first map of British and Irish Pro League, which is a very tricky track.
Mhm.
And some players might not be quite used to it, given it's of a slightly old style. Similarly, then we've got Menace, which I've got to be honest, personal bias, one of my favorite tracks ever in the game. Seems to be a bit Marmite for some people. And then finally, we've got Ledior. This is the only new track, courtesy of the amazing map that is Kerberos. And yeah, I think it's a really good map. So I think we've got a great map pack. We've got a great set of players. You're in for a great competition. And we are into warm up.
Oh, we're into warm up already. Wow.
We're into warm up.
Moving
And
fast.
it's at
Okay.
this point I realized I didn't configure warm up screen correctly. So
Oh
we're
no.
going to.
No.
Yeah, it happens.
Well, whilst
We're going to
whilst
sit here
Pad does that.
chatting.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Jake will
whilst
talk
Pad
to you.
sorts that out. On Ledior, obviously it's a new map, and I'm looking at some times, and they're so fast. I mean, you got Wizzy with a 60.1, 68. You got Hendo not far behind with a in front, sorry, with a 60.132, and it's just there's so much like little time between each and every person that it's just gonna be really like a spectacle to watch because these players are just so fast, and obviously it depends on the day if you're gonna, play well or not. as we've seen in other competitions before. Pressure might get to you, but you know. Okay, okay. I'll continue talking. So anyway, if we look across, to the other maps, let's say Capital, again, it's all close. There is a bit of a drop off between the mid-table and the lower table, but some of the players have really cracked and put some, massive amount of hours into this. I know Twitty, for example, has put almost no prac into this, whereas OC, I believe he said he's got more than 7+ hours on each map. As far as I remember, unless someone else said that. But then even like my Scottish mate Steg, looking across, I've heard people say that he's quite scary, but unfortunately he doesn't believe in himself. So, we can see
We'll
what happens really.
Round 1 here, going the way of Wizzy. It's a TM stream. It's gonna be technical issues to begin with. we should be going now. Yeah, kicking off here on Menace, Wizzy will take first blood. I think the impressive person in that mode, I see Cozza 4.
I think you did. Unless my eyes are that bad, I do believe Cozza was 4th. I know he has actually put in a lot of time into these maps, so it'll be interesting to see where he ends up really.
Yeah. He's certainly an interesting one for being on the cusp of like day 2's possible but difficult. So if he can get himself in a good part of the bracket, it would be a massive, massive benefit to him. So the way that the seeding works is all your times are weighted together. Where your best times are weighted more heavily and your worst times are weighted less heavily. Your slowest run not counted for anything. But the relief of being able to get a good run straight away is absolutely huge because it kind of gets a pressure off him. You've got your big one banked. You can just try and get in some more fast times after that. When you've had like 2 or 3 crashes early on, like every round now has to be good. Wizzy is looking good so far, as we see him pick up the top time again. That is the fastest time so far. A 101.7.
It's just Wizzy things, really, isn't it? It's
yeah,
you
that's
can't not expect
0.2 off
it.
his TA time. 0.2 off his TA time.
Yeah. Just Wizzy is king, really.
Yeah. So certainly a good start for the man from Wild. Do we want to keep an eye on Kai? Kai is another one kind of in this middle batch. You've got this group of like Kai, Cozza, Idle, Steg, Miles, where, there is a possibility of day 2, but they're really going to have to play well. Make it happen. Who do we see in the mix this round? Once again, Wizzy up at the front. Kai kind of in this mid-pack with Sean. Chris Acro's probably not a run he'll be too happy with to be down there. 5th from time attack. So he'll be hoping he can set some slightly cleaner runs than this. As Kai loses gear there. Yeah, the Acro's going
Acro does a massive jump there.
Completely wrong. That has not worked out well for him.
And Wizzy once again.
Yep, Wizzy Boz first and second again. I think there's going to be a bit of a theme going on here.
Yeah, I do
Killian
believe so.
picks up a 101.8. He will be very, very happy with that, I imagine. Given the fact his PB is only a like 101.69, so only about a 10th off PB there.
Yeah, I'm sure he's absolutely buzzing about that now. But the one thing you have to remember is, especially in these high, octane and pressure rounds, that you don't get ahead of yourself. You need to, even if you do a really nice time or even PB, you have to cool yourself down. Otherwise, you might get, too nervous and then take some extreme lines and eventually bonk, which is definitely what you don't want in these early rounds.
Yeah. It is nice, but you do get one freebie. So you're allowed one big crash, but the moment that you start having kind of 2 or more, that's going to really chip away at your time. One player who's quite high up in this round is Orion, usually casting. Last time he qualified by the skin of his teeth for BIPC, but he didn't think he would, so he ended up casting. This time around, he'll be casting as soon as he's knocked out, is basically what he said this time around. So, he's hoping he has a dreadful tournament, and he can take over my spot as soon as possible.
Also, Wizzy second. Jorday does beat him there. I don't know what happened to Wizzy mid-round, but Jorday's putting in a respectable time there. I feel like Wizzy may have just did a wrong line slightly, and Jorday's just pipped him there.
Yeah, time's a little slow that round. I mean, only a 101.9. Clearly awful. Only 0.4 off world record. But yeah, Jordan will be happy with that. Another player who has certainly surprised me from a time attack phase. Like, I knew he was a good player. And I kind of would have put him kind of near where, like, Babs, OC, Yara on the table. But no, he's 4th between Akros and Boz. So really trying to slot himself into those top positions.
Yeah, he's really trying to make a name for himself, I feel like. And what better stage than to do it in BIPC?
Sure. Now, what is Wizzy cooking this round? Not much.
He is on pace here.
Not much anymore. Drove into a wall.
He's kind of lost it.
Yeah, no, that's gone wrong. That's gone very wrong for him. As he does get pipped by a few names there. Jordy, again, with a very good round. We see Hendo pick up a round win. I think that's the first time for him.
That is, yeah.
Second from time attack. So
Rebel 8th, which is nice to see.
Yeah, good for Rebel.
I did talk to him earlier. He didn't have his Weetabix, but I'm sure that's just his game plan. Let's see if he can last out his hunger for the whole duration of this competition.
Yep. It's a nice short event. It's only 5 hours today, so I'm sure not having breakfast won't come back to bite him at all.
No, of course not.
If there's someone interesting we can ride on board. Let's see how OC is getting on. I can't resist it for 2.
In all fairness, I have been seeing OC in top, the 8, isn't it? The leaderboard that shows.
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen him top 8 consistently. You can just tell that he has put in a lot of time into these maps where he's consistent, and you know, getting these top places really do matter.
Sure. OC, I think, has always seen seeding as a bit of a gremlin for him. You know, in British and Irish Pro League, he missed out on Division 1 by... I did that. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, OC. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, I think he was on for probably a low 102, probably around where kind of Killian Kozza. Octowob's in there as well.
I did just see Acros first as well. Wizzy has... It seems he's come off the pace of it, which is interesting to what he was driving in the first 2 rounds anyway. But it feels like Acros has found his consistency now. So he's no longer the front of the middle of the pack. He's, you know, leading the race now.
Yeah, he'll be hoping he can bank some really good time to make up for the earlier crashes. Kozza going inside
line.
Why? It's just harder and it's not faster. I'm not going to question that. I thought Wizzy was falling off the drift, I'll be honest. OC on a very good run here. Keeping up with Wizzy and Boz. That is not a sentence I thought I would have ever said, but here we are.
Babs not too far behind as well.
Yeah, Babs, Jaden, Hendo, all in the mix here. That's going to be dodgy gear for OC. We see someone go flying there. Yeah, and OC goes from 3rd down to about 10th. He is not having a fun time with this ending section.
No, not at all.
you know, if you look at the people he was in contention with, it would have been another chance for like a low 102. So he might not be seeding up as high as the early pace would show. But yeah, Babsify with a good time there, clocking in third. Oh,
It's just Bab's things, really, isn't it? He is quite consistent when it comes to these things, really. I mean, even in our first land that we did, he played and he was a monster, really. So I don't really expect him to fall too far behind in this, really.
yeah, not at all. I'll be intrigued to see how high up the leaderboard he can make it. He'll definitely be aiming for like A2 as a minimum, as we have a crash from, that was Wizzy.
Wow.
Wizzy bleeds. He makes a mistake. Oh god, Steg went flying.
Steg.
that was
Oh.
unfortunate. Oh, that's completely thrown me off kilter saying Wizzy crash and Steg going to the moon. Yeah, I imagine Babs will be maybe seeing if he can break into kind of that top 6. It looks like there's kind of a, if you look at times, there's the overall combined times, which are not what anything's based off, but it's an interesting metric, and it's probably best we have right now. You know, Wizzy in first down to Jaden in sixth is about 4/10 of a second difference. And then the gap from Jaden to Babs is also 4/10 of a second, 67. So you've got quite a clear top 6. But I get the feeling the likes of kind of Babs, OC, Yar, Killian will be seeing if they can break into that. And with that, though, that was the last round of Menace. We're all done there.
Wow, that went so fast. It was just cinema.
Yeah. Always fun to watch. And these aren't even matches. This is a you know, chilled out bit.
It's just, I can only imagine what the drivers are, even feeling right now. They might like crash one round and go, oh no, and then obviously get in a bad headspace. But some of these are regular to these, competitions, so I'm sure it won't affect them too much, really.
Yeah, it's the kind of place where experience is going to make kind of a big difference between, you know, those who. Wording this terribly. Seeding, I think this seeding format is so heavily about consistency. It is just about driving safe, while also trying to drive vaguely fast, given the fast times that are weighted. And those more consistent players, those who, have played a lot of comps, have played a lot of rounds, are going to benefit in this format quite heavily, at least through seeding. I think that reduces once you go into rounds and it becomes a lot more balanced, but for now, consistency is definitely key.
Of course, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's all well and good looking at the time attacks, but I know some people are just huge time attack people, but in rounds they sort of crumble or don't have that consistency or even experience. Like Zeres, for example.
Yeah, he's a bit of a newbie.
Yeah. But it's nice to see him, give it a crack, really. We always encourage new players to give it a go.
Oh, I can't wait
That's
for
the
him
end
to
of
watch that
warm-up.
back. He's gonna enjoy
Oh, I
that.
know.
Yep. Yeah. As we get underway here, with the second map of seeding, this is Candy Crush. This is... It's probably not the most difficult in the pack. I would say that's probably Capital. But there's a lot of things that can go wrong very, very quickly on this track for people. So I'm not surprised to see a mistake. That was a mistake from Wizzy there. That is not how he'll want to kick off his leading here.
No, not at all.
On Candy Crush, as we see Sean making mistakes as well. Palabara a bit behind. As Wizzy will try and claw back the time he can, but I imagine he'll be looking at this going, right, that's for 0%. This is the unweighted one. Hello, Calder. You've joined you've joined the pack down here as well. Out in front, though, it looks to be Hendo leading Bozfez, leading Jaden. So the kind of names you'd expect. I'll see if there's any big shocks up there. Zephyr.Chris. He's alive.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh my, what an appearance.
It's incredible. Yeah, Chris comes into this in a very weird point of view of he hasn't done much prac, but he played for competitions that, Candy Crush was in, BIPC 2 last time. So he's got some muscle memory. It's just about a year old and might take a little bit of time to warm up, but I'm sure he'll be quite happy with immediately setting a good time there on Candy.
Yeah, like when you've played these maps before, sometimes it just sticks with you, even if it is a different competition.
Oh,
you know the
sure.
old saying that, form is temporary, but class is permanent, and I'm sure, Zephyr does have some class.
Yeah. Mainly if there's drifts involved and no outside dirt, but, it's a bit. For those who have kind of followed Drift Scene for a while, you might be going, oh, look, it's Bozbez. He's incredibly good. Why is he in 6th, 5th round and not beating everyone every single time, other than maybe Withy? The biggest fun fact about Boz has always been that he plays with a mouse, and he moves left to right to turn. Okay. He has moved on to pad. This is his first competition on a controller. He actually changed controller yesterday to a new one. I'm guessing one that tries to fit his grip slightly better. So, yeah, the mouse has been abandoned for the time being, and he's trying out a competition on pad. So, yeah, we might not see quite full strength Boz, but honestly, for the sake of everyone else in the competition, other than maybe Wizzy, that's probably a relief.
Yeah.
The full strength Boz
sure.
is an absolute monster.
I'm sure when Boz said I'm doing on controller, he was just like, everyone just sighed and just like had some weight off their shoulders. Oh, talking about Bozbez, he crashes.
Yeah, that isn't what he'll be looking for. I think consistency is key. He didn't get a great run last time, and might only just make the top 8 as Hendo, second lead from Time Attack, crashes as well. Are we going to see anyone else taken by the end here? Easy to make mistakes going through this section, but no one else will. Boz does snipe Jaden, so still finishes 6th. Really, it's based off time, but only 0.5 off after a clip. He will very much take that.
Yep, now making another appearance as well in the top 8 there. It's always nice to see him.
Yep. Yeah, he really needs to count the good rounds he gets because he is not a good player at all. Do comedic effects sometimes.
I'm sure you will appreciate that comment.
Oh, he'll admit it himself. I was in VC with him and a couple of others a couple days ago. I said, I just don't know when Yar is going to see it. I don't know how ready he is. To which he just said, I don't know either. Wasn't still having fun on Candy Crush. He's just abandoned this run. He's gone, right, this was 0 points. I'm going to...
gone for a nap time.
Yeah. Well, it's something some of these top players will do where they'll just kind of take a break, be like, right, no point finishing this round. This round is doomed. Just relax. Take 5. Get ahead back in the game. See what you can do. Who is at the top of this round then? It is once again Wizzy leading. Jorday in a very respectable 3rd there.
Yep.
Pretty close to the pace of Wizzy, who, yeah, looking pretty good on this track. I think Hendo and Acros as well looking a little better than they did on Menace, perhaps. But yeah, the usual crew for the most part there, minus one Boz.
It's always nice to see when Bozbez just relaxes, and let's hope in this round he's reset and figured out the controls on his controller.
Yeah. Gotta remember that, it's now joystick turn rather than moving the controller left and right. Oh, he's really not got his head in the game. This is rough. He could well end up suffering from seeding quite a bit here, because that's now his 3rd round of having some kind of incident. Again, the time won't be horrendous. He'll be ahead of a lot of the field, but certainly won't be seeding first on this track. Question of how far down is it going to drag its overall seeding? Performance has not gone great for him. That said, he clearly has pace when he's not making mistakes. Um,
I don't even know what to say about that.
did he just reckon he didn't have pace?
I mean, I'm sure he could have made it.
Didn't look like he was slow. That was very odd.
Yeah. I'm speechless. I
Yeah,
don't even
sorry,
know what to comment about
that's
that.
caught me off guard.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah, yeah. I think his mindset has currently gone, unfortunately.
yeah, very, very odd there. He might end up in a complete wrong different part of the bracket when, like, everyone's prediction's going to be thrown, maybe not off, but, you know, people kind of in middle of pack who've been trying to guess who they'll be coming up against could well have a surprise Bosmed in their match. But it does give a good opportunity for the likes of Hendo, Jorde, Jaden to really benefit here. Akros as well, who is on a good run this time around before Welsh Internet does take him out of it. Where is he gone? Is he coming back? He just popped out of existence. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, besides Welsh Internet, this top 4 battle has been, like, in all the rounds so far on this map, have been really, really close. It's been a really good battle, I've been seeing, and there isn't a really clear first place here. It is shuffling between the top 4, so anyone can really gain that extra point, and it might help them. You never know.
Yeah. Who do we want to keep an eye on? Maybe Akros. I think Akros is doing pretty well here, and as I say that, he is currently leading the round. So very close with Wizzy here. But something that is impressive when you look at the fact these map. Oh no. He's
Maybe we
being
should
Welsh
just
interneted. Anyone we look at is having a terrible time. Right, who don't we like?
click on Hendo. Oh,
So
OC,
here we
even
have
better.
OC in second. What kind of loopy land have I entered? But it looks like he will hold on to second. He will be very happy with this round.
Yeah.
He has said his big aim is, because you kind of have this distinct top 6, his aim is to try and scare one of the top 6.
I mean, he's doing a good job so far. He is
Yeah, I
putting in
mean,
some respectable times.
I would take second place there as definitely scaring. Um, so I believe. Thanks. Let me just check what I'm about to say before I say it in some reason. Okay, cool. Thanks to wonderful folks over at eCircuit Mania. They are just like the best people for sending data to and getting nice results out. We do have the theme results from Menace already up there, which Wizzy did win. Followed by Boz, Jorde third, and Hendo fourth. So no major shocks there.
No, none at all, really. I mean, I think most people could have guessed that, just by the time attack alone, let alone rounds.
Yeah.
But you know, in rounds, anything can happen, really. And I think I did see Akros again touch, and he just drops down the pack. I mean, as well as Boz, Akros might be in the wrong seed in here.
Yeah, it's looking like internet issues though. He just seemed to go absolutely flying aimlessly a couple of times. Yeah, one person who did get hurt by Menace was Akros. 13
Wow.
isn't ideal. As we move on next map. That is us all done with Candy Crush. I think much to the relief of a few players. And yeah, next one here. It's Ledior. This is the new map in the pack. This is the unknown. Bit. I'll be. Yeah. I think.
Like I've Go on, sorry.
Sorry, you go.
No,
Over
please,
you.
I insist, Pat, please, go on.
Okay, fine. I guess I'll say whatever random rambling I was going to go on about. Yeah, I think compared to a lot of tracks, this one is probably on the easier side of the map pack. So I think we're going to see some more consistent rounds from people. I think the biggest risk of mistakes are this downhill dirt that Orion's just gone over, as you can, carry just so much speed into it. A lot of people with bad ping here. The final drift that'll be coming up right after here. You got to jump into here, then drift at the right time to get round this finish, and then through the triangle if you want the fastest line, which is quite scary. And then there is finally a drift jumping onto the sausage corner. But for now, we're going to have our first of our nice little map intros, because I've actually remembered this time. So this is Ledio by Kerberos. So we're getting underway with round one here. Who really needs a good pull? Results from Candy Crush, well, and Akros is again struggling. I think he really needs a good result here. He needs his internet to play ball to some extent. Bozbez as well. Finishing 21st on Candy Crush. He'll be needing to try and keep it clean, limit the damage. As I say that, I think I was looking at the times and he's died somewhere. Not sure where he's gone. Akros is there.
Yeah, I've seen, although this map is, the unknown factor as it's new, I've seen so many, of the boys streaming, Paulo Barra, Steg, even, some of the Scots, and I know a lot of people have actually took a liking to this map.
Yeah, it's been very well received.
Yeah, which is always nice, especially when a new map gets introduced. I know, some people have some preferences, but it's always nice to see when a map's really well received.
The big standout results from Candy Crush. Well, OC came 4th on Candy Crush. He'll be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's smiling ear to ear right now.
I think that was a kind of biggest out of position surprise, if you like. He's really stepped up his game last couple of months. It was only a few months ago in BIPL Season 1. Not Season 1, sorry, Season 3, that he didn't make Division 1. End up finishing 2nd in Division 2, so we'll have promotion to the next season. But yeah, it's a huge step up, and it shows he'll definitely be able to hold his own in Division 1 when that comes around.
I mean, even looking now, he's third. I'm sure he's currently feeling amazing. I mean, all credit to him, really. You see Hendo comes 6th there, which is interesting. I wonder what slightly went wrong. I say slightly. There is only, a couple tenths in it, but it's these little things that really do start to add up over time.
Sure. Keep an eye on Steg here. One of only 2 Scottish players we have this time around. A few of them, usual Scottish slots, unable to play. So, see how well he can do. He's definitely a player who I think has a lot of potential, but sometimes struggles to dial in. But this round, that doesn't seem to be a problem, as he is currently sat 6th. Far higher than his time attack would suggest, with Koza and Hendo right behind. He's chasing down OC. So, very, very respectful round. I'm stuck here. Have I done an anti-caster curse? Have I actually switched on to someone?
No, you might be. You might be.
I'm
speaking
really
too soon
sorry
here,
what I've
bud.
done. What I've done. There's like one drift left, bro.
Oh, who bottled the drift? Oh, I don't even
Okay.
know what happened in that end there.
I want to accept partial responsibility for that. It didn't go great. Boz is...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we did see the Rob RS1 actually sneak into the top 8. I think that's the first top 8 he's had so far. So it's nice to see him,
Yeah,
up that
good run for
leaderboard.
him.
It'll make him some confidence in the future rounds.
Like, slightly slower start this time.
Just a tad.
Of keeping an eye on. Let's have a look at how Idol's doing. Good focus player and master of spreadsheets for us. One of a couple of admins actually getting the chance to play in the event this time around with how it is all shaped up. So, I know he's put in a fair amount of prac. Maybe not as much as like the OC and Koza. Been sat in VC training pretty much every single day since the maps were released, but he'll be hoping he can maybe make day 2. Imagine that'll be his goal. And he's looking around that boundary. You know, from this. Chris in front of him. Chris, I think, having... I'm intrigued to see where he actually is on seeding, because his time attack times weren't great. But I think he was only 19th from time attack, but he finished 13th on Candy Crush, 14th on Menace. Yeah, he'll be seeding a little higher than his time attack would suggest. Which, you know, if you're low prac but quite good at quick learn and consistency, it kind of makes sense that's how it's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'd be chuffed with it, really.
Yeah. I think he'd take anything in the top kind of 16, to be honest. Given how low prac he is. Bozbez is with a pack this time around. He's kept it clean. I'm really hoping that he can make it to the end and, you know, set himself a good time. Try and get some momentum back. He is being chased down by Jorday and Hendo. Jorday has looked very, very good in this seeding so far.
Yeah, he's really, really consistent.
Yeah,
like whenever. Go on.
Hendo for it back.
Yep.
Boz does get a clean run. He'll be very happy to have seen that.
I'm sure that'll give him some really well-needed confidence.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, some of his performances in the earlier rounds. Hopefully he can build on this, because I would love to see Boz on controller absolutely just storm everyone.
It would be really, really impressive to see. But got a lot of work to do on Ledior. He'll need to try and put in some really good times. How many rounds left do we have here? 3 more to go. So, yeah. He'll need to set some good times to put those, you know, early cracks and mistakes at the bottom of the pile in terms of the waiting. This time around, it's Jorday who falls early at the uncharacteristically rough round from Jorday, so it is Wizzy, Akros, and Boz at the front. Third man at the top seeding, and then 2 people who really, really could use a few good rounds here, based on how it's gone so far. Bozbez chasing down Wizzy here. Well, the time that matters, not position, but it's still nice to finish first. I think Wizzy has this one under control. Not too much track left. Jaden is going to come in, try and see whether he can put his name in the middle. And Wizzy crashes the end.
Wow.
Wizzy crashes the end. I say it's Wizzy versus Boz. Jaden wins. Wizzy crashes. That's just what happens when a caster opens their mouth.
Shawnee in 7th. That's,
Yeah.
I believe, his first showing in the top 8 also.
I think so.
I'm sure that'll fill him with confidence.
Yeah, he's definitely a consistency player over pace. He's 17th from Menace, 15th from Candy Crush. Boz.
Boz.
Feel for him.
It was going so well. It's interesting to see on these maps as well because at the start, you know, it's all congested, everyone's close together. Halfway through the map, some of the faster players start bridging that gap, and then towards the end, you do just see some quality and pace between, you know, the top players and maybe the lower bracket players. But this top, what, 6, maybe 7 are always so close, within a tenth of each other most times. So it's always entertaining to watch, really.
Yeah, this time around though, Jaden seems to be storming away with it. He is on a very nice run as OC, Jordan, and Wizzy all very close behind. Jaden doesn't get a great final drift though. Does make it through the finish. I thought he was going to bounce out of that for a second.
That's actually a tie.
We get a tie.
For second.
It's not by the same player though, so this shouldn't break anything. I honestly don't know.
Or is it last CP?
I'm hoping it's last CP. Not that it makes any difference for this bit, but for the actual rounds. Hopefully that doesn't break anything. Yeah, I'm really hoping so, Magpie. I think the thing that broke last time was someone... I think it was Stegs at the same time twice. And then the spreadsheet didn't know how to weight it, so... Yeah, we're aware of that one.
Oh, was that an Acro's touch again?
I think that was an Acro's touch. You didn't need that.
Or was it Welsh Internet? Someday we'll never find out.
Jaden... I think that's Jaden falling a bit behind there. So, got a slightly different attack. I think slightly different. It's still Wizzy at the front. Yeah. That's fairly enough. Jordan second, Hendo third. Yaruko in fourth. Where is he?
Up 11th, yeah.
See if he can get a respectable time in. Yes, he can. 0.7.
Yeah.
Even a 0.3.
That's, yeah. Insane. To do it in rounds consistently, even drive like 0.4s, it's... I could never picture me doing it.
No. Never. I mean, like, the top... His time attack time was a 60.1. Oh, what at 1 point. Yeah, for him to be on a 0.3. No, he barely... Not even 2/10 off his best time. Incredible.
It is scary. And I'm sure, like, the other players might even be, like, aware of his PBs. And they see him driving those times and just think, wow, I'm really going to have to up my game here just to, you know, even try and push him.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we should, therefore, through eCircuit Mania, have results from that. And it is Jordan picking up the win on that track, actually, on Ledior. Consistently, clearly helping out a lot there. Wizzy second, Jaden third. That does not surprise me at all. OC fourth. So far, he's had an 8th, a 4th, and a 4th. He'll be quite happy with that. Hendo 5th. I 6th. I didn't really notice that. He must have flown under radar. Just a lot of kind of very consistent times. Potter 7th and Idle 8th.
Potter sneaking into top 8 there. That's good for him. Because I know, again, as well as everyone else, he has been putting a lot of times, like you said, been practicing it almost every day, if not every day, with some of the boys. So I think he'll be happy with that.
Yeah. Well, we go on to Capital here, and we once again have the map intro. I've remembered it exists. So we'll catch you for rounds in a second. We are back and we are underway on Capital. Bother's crashed.
I think
did Acro's crashed as well? Yes. Incredible consistency from, you know, some of the top players in the game here. Wizzy's crashed and well, is anyone not crashing? When you were worth keeping an eye on. Still actually in it. Where's Killian at? Where's Killian? Repping the incredible Guinness skin. The skin that did actually win BIPC last year, being sported by Epos. As we see Chris up there in the top kind of pack. He'll be quite happy with that if he can finish off his time. Babsify makes a clip. And oh no! It's Nyaruko coming up to this ending. Will he make it? Yes, he does.
He does.
There will be no repeat of one of the funniest things that has ever happened in any of our tournaments. Yara Mappy, both on finalist, failing to finish this track. And breaking the server.
I'm sure he just did it for content. No other reason.
For sure, for sure.
Again, in that top 8, Kai was there. He said he might be, you know, flying low under the radar. He has been getting between 6th and 8th on most rounds, so he is just accumulating these points, and I'm sure he's happy with the performance so far, really.
Yeah, I mean, just consistent good times. You know, you're not going to have any kind of bad times dragging your average down at all. They, yeah, definitely gave a consistency this seeding.
For sure.
Who do we have towards?
It's nice to see Wizzy hasn't crashed so far.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jake's first caster curse. This is his first time as a caster, and it's an important moment. The first time a new caster manages a caster curse, and that was a good one. I respect that.
Yep. It was all planned.
Yep, sure.
Actors with 56.9. It's a nice time. I mean, it's just over 2/10 off his PB, so he's driving pretty fast.
Yeah, and he could really use a good result here to try and drag up his seeding a little bit. I'll be hoping he can perform well on this. Of course, a track that he would have played in BIPL 1 very long ago. Wizzy, Boz, Hendo all took part in that event. I'm not sure how many other than Fields have been around in the scene for that long. About 2 years ago, this app was first featured. If you do support Welsh, it's a very good round for you. Acros leads Hendo, 1-2. Can they keep it nice and clean, bro? No, Acros clips with outside dirt, pushing a little too hard there. Hendo does pick up the round win, and Acros still. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. He comes 5th.
No, not at all.
But
I mean,
that should have been
as well.
That should have been another sub for him. Killian 4th. Yep.
It's a respectable placing as well. I'm sure he'll like the bonus points there in that round. I'm so confused on what's happening with Boz. Obviously, like you said, he is on controller, but I'm just so shocked.
Ooh, Wizzy.
Oh, Wizzy.
Take that time as well. It's once again Acros up front. He is looking rapid on this.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know if it's his map, more than anyone else's, but he seems the most consistent.
Oh no!
As
he's been Welsh interneted.
Strikes again.
Being Welsh interneted. How far down has that dropped him? Right.
Oh.
I really, really hope that clears up by the time that he gets the actual rounds.
Jade on touch here. He does lose.
Oh, Jadon fails for finish. He'll lose more than first there. As OC has won a round. We're never hearing the end of it.
No, I don't even want to comment on it, really. No, I'm sure he'll be happy with that. You know, again, throughout the whole competition so far, he's been putting in some really solid performances, so I'm sure he feels like he deserves at least one first place.
Yeah. But we're still never hearing the end of it, because, oh, remember when I beat everyone on 1 round on Capital? You can hear
It's
it
just
already,
those two
can't you?
things. No, I can. I can already imagine the copy pasta that's coming.
Someone who does know about cod bastards from seeding, we have double-digit Jade on here.
Yeah, I mean, he is putting in some nice pace on this map. At
Yeah,
close
I
and
feel
nowhere
like
to be
he's...
seen in the top 5.
Yeah, you never know whether he's crashed or whether he's been Welsh interneted. But I think Jaden tried to put the seeding gremlins from Racing Rumble behind him. As Wizzy leads Hendo, leads Jaden and Boz here. The 4 players I'd expect to see go very, very deep into competition. As Wizzy to the 0.8, that is a very, very good time.
That is, yeah, a really, really good time. I mean, that's what, just shy of 2 temps off his PB again?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, he's got a 5.64. He's just a monster, really, isn't he, Wizzy? You can't really even too, you know, shocked by it. You just kind of expect him to put in these sorts of times.
Yeah, definitely. Endo, Wizzy, Jade, and Jordan at the front again, and by the time I finish that sentence, they've moved around a bit, and we have Killian and Rebel, who have joined the fray. Rebel on a very good time here. Taking all this together, he'll be very happy if he can, get himself a low point, low 57. He'll definitely take that. He is currently sat 4th.
I was just
Boz.
actually looking
Oh,
at,
Boz!
oh,
Boz. Oh, 0.6 from Hendo.
that, yeah, it's such a nice time. But
His public PB is a 0.618, and that was a 0.652.
that it's just Hendo Dings, really, isn't it? I mean, even
Yep.
more on Rebel, he was only a 10th shy of his PB. He had a storming round there. I mean, I have seen him a few times as well in the top 8, so he has put in a really good performance. I know, you know, in the table he was 17th on times across the board, so I'm sure he'd be really happy with the performance.
Sure, I think he is one who's hoping he can perform well in rounds here. Try and boost the seeding a little bit. Being in a bit of a mid pack here. There's just so many people so close together.
I know, I'm struggling to see names here.
Yeah, it's all just overlapping. I can see Acro's falling back, and I can see Yara's hit a wall at its finish, which is the classic. Wizzy once again wins 0.7, sure.
Yeah,
Just dishing about like they're nothing at this point.
It's just a level that you don't often see too much unless you play these type of competitions, and it's just, you can tell he's, you know, one of the top players in the game, really. So many people are struggling with that first outside turn. I've seen so many touches as people are trying to push through this map. I mean, Nye's doing exceptionally well on this map as well. He's always been towards the front of the pack. He might slip towards the end of the map, but I mean, right now he's holding his own really, really well.
Yeah, I mean, battling up there with the likes of Wizzy and Jaden, these are 2 incredibly fast players, so... As tends to be the case with Yar, he has the pace. No one has ever really questioned him on pure pace. But for him, it's just a case of how many good rounds can he hook up. It's looking good for this round. One more outside dirt and one jump to go as we get a crash from Wizzy, and OC will win the final round of seeding.
Wow, okay, I do believe he will screenshot that once again.
He will. And we have, I'm going to say they're provisional, just in case anything's broken. But we do have a provisional set of results to go to here. So, from that, it is all up to date. A certain thing. Winning seeding in first place is Wizzy. The shock of absolutely nobody. You know, first on Menace, first on Candy Crush, second Ledior, third Capital. Yeah.
There's not much you can really say about it, really, is it?
Exactly.
It's just Wizzy showing his class.
Yep, just average Wizzy thing. Second, Jorday.
Okay.
An average position of, or an average rank of 2.3, picking up a first place on Ledior, second on Capital, third on Menace, third on Candy Crush. He just didn't crash.
No,
He's just consistently there in the fight. He might have had kind of less showstopper rounds than some of the others, but you'd look in the top 4 and he'd be there, 6, 7 out of 8 rounds. Third place is Hendo. I think he will be happy with that. First on Capital, performed very, very well there, with second on Candy, fourth on Menace, and fifth on Ledior. Bring him out to a average rank of third as he slots into third. I rattle through the rest of them a bit faster now. Jaden picks up fourth, OC fifth, so he'll be very happy with that, considering the game was just, try and scare the top 6, so seeding fifth, he'll be happy with. Similarly, Abs in 6th, Killian in 7th, so the Irish have a very good performance there. Idle into 8th, and Other 9th. That is someone who's put aside his seeding Gremlins quite a bit there, making it in top 10. Cairo rounds out the top 10, roughly where you'd expect him to be. Nyaruko 11th. Octowobs 12th. That's a pleasant surprise.
That
a
is
little lower down.
That is huge for him.
He's certainly a bit of a newer name around here. He played last season at BIPL, where he definitely caught a few people off guard, I think, going, oh, I haven't seen this guy, can't be that good. And then he, caught out some players for sure. Zephyr Chris makes it into 13th, which, considering he, as of yesterday, put 30 minutes into Ledior in his entire life, I think he would absolutely take. No one's shocked his worst map was Ledior, but not really by a big margin. So I expect he'll just get better through the tournament. See that as a promising. Rebel in 14th, a few good rounds, really bolstering him there on Menace, Ledior, on Capital, and then on Candy. Steg 16th, around Steg 15th even, so fairly good form. And rounding out the top 6 is Miles. Other things of note from the bottom 16.
What to ask?
Acros is in 19th. I think that is primarily Welsh internet gremlins. In a consistent format, you don't want to be flung across the track aimlessly. So we'll see whether we can have any luck cleaning them out. That's going to put him in the complete wrong part of the bracket. Right next to his teammate Boz, who's in 20th. With a set of results of 25th on Ledior, 24th on Capital, 21st on Candy Crush, and 2nd on on Menace.
Yep. Boss things.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, you got to give him props really for changing input device and sticking with it. He could have easily just went back to mouse for this competition, but he's like, no, I'm going to stick to controller. So you got to give him his flowers for giving it a go.
Yeah, and I can completely understand why he's done it as well. He's talked about a bit about the impracticalities of trying to take, a massive meter-wide mouse pad to lands and stuff, and how he'll have to change his sense and get stuck on stuff, and it's just not a practical device. So, I imagine he'll be looking at this probably for XP Evo going forward, as to whether we can get up to stand on pad before then. But that will round us out for now, as we'll try and get an idea of when the next set of matches will be happening. Could be very, very soon, any luck. But for now, I am going to throw a quick break, and we will catch you in about 5 minutes.